Ever been a bit nervous about navigating Japanese dining culture? Well, you're in the right place. We're about to break down the most essential, unspoken rules for using chopsticks so you can walk into any restaurant and dine with total confidence.
So, picture this. You're sitting in a beautiful little restaurant in Kyoto. The atmosphere is just perfect. You can hear the gentle clinking of glasses, happy chatter from locals, and the food in front of you, it's a work of art. Everything is going great. You pause for a moment to take a sip of tea, and without even thinking, you rest your chopsticks by sticking them upright in your rice bowl. And that's when you feel it, a sudden, awkward silence. The vibe just completely shifts. The waiter gives you a look. What just happened?
What was it? What did you do? You've just stumbled into a major cultural no-no, and that single accidental gesture is exactly what we're going to unpack today.
See, here's the thing. This isn't just about table manners. We're talking about washoku, the traditional Japanese food culture. It's so significant, it's actually recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. These rules are woven deep into history, respect, and even sacred rituals. So, let's get right to the most important part. If you take away only 2 things from this explainer, make it these next 2. These are the big ones, the ones you want to avoid at all costs because they're directly linked to rituals performed at Japanese funerals. And here it is, the #1 mistake pretty much everyone makes at some point: sticking chopsticks straight up in a bowl of rice. This is called tatebashi. And the reason it's so taboo is because this is exactly how a bowl of rice is offered to the spirit of the deceased at a funeral. So doing it at the dinner table is, well, just not something you ever want to do. The second huge taboo is passing food directly from your chopsticks to someone else's. This is known as hiroibashi. The reason this is such a serious no-no is because it mimics a specific funeral rite, where family members pass the cremated bones of their loved one between chopsticks before placing them in an urn. So, what do you do instead? Simple. You just place the food onto a small plate for the other person to pick up. Okay, you've got the 2 cardinal sins down. Now let's level up your etiquette game. These next few habits aren't quite as serious, but avoiding them really shows you've done your homework and have a deep respect for the culture.
Come on, we've all been there. That one slippery piece of tofu just won't cooperate and you're so tempted to just spear it. But try to resist. This is sashibashi. It's considered kind of childish, and it can even subtly imply to the chef that their food wasn't cooked tenderly enough to be picked up properly. Ever see someone do this, waving their chopsticks back and forth over all the dishes, trying to decide what to grab next? That's mayohashi, which translates to lost chopsticks. It comes across as greedy or indecisive. The polite move? Decide with your eyes first, then move in with your chopsticks. Next up, yosebashi. That's when you use your chopsticks like little hooks to pull a bowl or a dish closer to you. It's seen as a bit lazy and, frankly, it's just not very graceful. The proper way is to simply put down your chopsticks for a moment and use your hands to move the dish. This one is pretty straightforward. Neburibashi. It's simply licking the ends of your chopsticks. It's just considered unsightly and, well, a little unhygienic. An easy one to avoid. Okay, this is a habit a lot of us picked up somewhere along the way. You get those disposable chopsticks, the waribashi, you snap them apart, and then you rub them together to get rid of splinters, right? Well, in any decent restaurant in Japan today, that's actually a subtle insult. It's like you're telling the owner, hey, I think your chopsticks are cheap. Just snap them apart cleanly and you're good to go. All right, enough of the don'ts. Let's flip the script and talk about the do's. These are the little things you can do to really show respect and, honestly, to impress your Japanese hosts or friends. You'll almost always see a little ceramic or wooden object next to your plate. That is a hashi-oki, a chopstick rest, and it has a purpose. When you're taking a break, place your chopsticks on it, parallel to the edge of the table with the tips pointing to the left. And definitely never cross them into an X. Yep, that's another symbol associated with funerals. But what if you're in a more casual place and there's no fancy chopstick rest? Here's a great little hack. Just take the paper wrapper your chopsticks came in, fold it up into a neat little shape, and voila, you've just made your own makeshift rest. It's a really thoughtful touch. Now, this one can feel a bit counterintuitive for those of us from the West. We're taught to keep our elbows off the table and our bowls on it. Well, in Japan, it's the opposite for small bowls, like for rice or miso soup. It is absolutely polite to pick up the bowl with one hand, bringing it closer to you as you eat. In fact, it's considered more graceful. Okay, I know, that's a lot of rules. And you might be feeling a little overwhelmed, thinking, oh man, I'm definitely going to mess this up. Don't worry. Let's talk about your ultimate safety net. So let me just say this loud and clear. It is absolutely 100% okay to ask for a fork. Really, Japanese hosts are incredibly gracious. They want you to enjoy the meal, not struggle through it. Your comfort is way more important than perfect chopstick form.
And it's super easy to do. A simple, polite, sumimasen, fork kudasai will get you exactly what you need. No judgment, no problem.
And here's another awesome pro tip, especially for all you sushi lovers out there. For nigiri sushi, that's the one with a slice of fish over a pat of rice, it is not only acceptable but actually traditional to eat it with your clean hands. Many sushi chefs actually prefer it because it helps keep the delicate rice perfectly intact.
So, after all of this, what's the big takeaway? It's really simple. It's about respect, not perfection. Nobody expects tourists to get every single rule right. What they do notice, and what they really truly appreciate, is the effort. Just showing that you're trying to honor their culture means the world. At the end of the day, Japanese dining is about gratitude for the food and respect for those around you. If you do slip up, a quick sumimasen is all it takes. So now that you know the deep meaning behind these rules, it kind of makes you wonder, right? What other cultural customs out there have stories we don't even know about?